So we are in the studio and we are going to work on something together, you and I. The first thing we're going to work on is this tabletop. So this is from the 80s, but they made a dining table in the 70s out of the same material. And it's this kind of bendy, soft, kind of nylon-y plastic. And over the years, it has warped. I don't know if you can see how badly warped it is. Hopefully you can see that. So it is not sitting straight, if you can see that. So what I want to do is I want to attempt to straighten this out. There's a number of different ways you can do this. You can apply heat to this in a number of different ways. If this didn't have this sticker on it, what I would do is I would just submerge it in some boiling water, and then I would clamp it down to something like a piece of glass or something. But it does have that sticker. And I don't really have a piece of glass to strap it to or clamp it to. So let me look around and see what I can find. Hold your horses. Okay, I kind of think these clamps are gonna work. I've got this is my felt ironing surface. I got a bunch of clamps here. I grabbed a bunch of C-clamps and stuff, but I don't think I'm gonna need those. I think these two kind of wood clamps are gonna be just fine. So I just have it dry fit right now to see if it will work, and I think it'll work. I think we're okay. I just had to kind of move things around. So we're going to move this back into place. This is a felt ironing surface, so I want to protect my surface from the heat that I'm going to use to soften this plastic up. And I just have to kind of hope that my paint doesn't peel off of this. I don't really have anything glass. That's what I could use, is something glass to put down, but I really don't have anything. So we're gonna hope for the best. I did find another one of these online. So if I screw this one up, I'll just buy another one, but I'd like to preserve this one if I can. That is optimal. Okay. So what are we going to use to apply heat? We are going to use our heat tool. That's another thing that's kind of dangerous and we have to be careful with. Let's check it, see if it's working. Oh yeah, and this thing works really well. So I'm going to leave it on here to heat it up. I'm going to keep this. I think if I keep this constantly moving, it will be okay. And I'll just kind of gingerly test it every once in a while to see if it's malleable and wants to move. So I may speed through this and turn on some music or something.
2 very boring minutes later.
And this thing gets really, really hot, so I'm trying to keep it moving constantly, and I don't want to get too close to the plastic.
Much, much later.
Okay, we are very warm. So I'm going to set my thing aside, and it just occurred to me, I could clamp this to the felt. I don't think that'll affect the clamping too much. So let's try it. It might go a little bit, it's not solid surface. All right, if this edge is not anything I can do about it, I don't have a clamp that'll reach back there. So we will let this sit overnight. I'm going to heat it up a little bit while it's in place here.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
You know, I think I'm going to adjust this a little bit, because what I want is this to take the new shape, this support. So maybe that's where I should be putting the pressure and not on the edges. Does that make sense? Same thing here. Like, I don't want to flatten this down, but this is where the support is. So maybe that's where I need to put the pressure to flatten it out. Again, hopefully I don't flatten the support as in put a divot in it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to malform it. All right, we will see if that does anything. Ooh. Yeah, see the plastic's a little soft from that one. So hopefully that will reshape it. All right, so I'm going to let that sit. I'm going to let it cool naturally, and we will come back and check on it tomorrow.
The next day.
And here is our little coffee table. It's still a little rocky. I can see that. But it will sit up in the Dreamhouse and it will not fall over, which is all I really wanted. So now I'm going to put some museum putty, which I've got over here, underneath all of these little guys. There's one more bottle somewhere. There it is. So I'm going to put a little museum putty underneath all those little things to hold it in place, and then we will put it in place in our dream house. So this is from the mid 1980s. Look at that design. You can tell it's very Memphis style, right? From the 80s. So I will get that in the dream house and we will see it in place next. See you in a minute. So just in case you're wondering what museum putty is, it's just this soft, pliable stuff that's almost like silly putty, or sometimes I see something sold as blue tack. That's pretty much the same thing. And it's just this moldable, sticky putty that's removable. It's archival, so it won't ruin anything, and it doesn't have any pigment to it, so it won't put any, dyes or anything, transfer anything over. So you just put that in the bottom of whatever it is that you don't want to move around, and then it will stick in place, because there's nothing worse than, right, our big human hands knocking things over in the dollhouse and them falling over. So I'm going to put a little bit of that underneath everything so that it holds in place, and then I will see you at the dollhouse. And now my girls can enjoy their conversation with their beverages on the little coffee table. So you can see that goes with that couch. There's also a chair that goes with it. That's the chair that goes with it. It's kind of a rocking chair. Midge is sitting on it. She's here keeping Barbie company while she gets ready for the party. And so that concludes this short video. Hopefully that was helpful. If you have warped plastics or plastics that have bent over the years, they can be replaced. And notice we didn't damage that sticker on it at all. So just a little planning, a little bit of, being careful, going slow, a little at a time, and just being patient with it. And it worked, and we got her done. All right, I will see you in the next video.